Alright guys, welcome to the reality that is trying to be a barn manager and manage life at the same time, which is not very easy. I am a very routine person, so I bring my boyfriend coffee in the morning. Well, Nemo and I bring my boyfriend coffee in the morning, and then we get to the barn, and I'm in my boyfriend's truck again. Honestly, I don't even remember why. And I feed the horses. Everybody's finally happy, even though they really secretly hate me because I don't feed them exactly how they want to, exactly when they want to eat. Yes, the hatred in the eyes is so true. And while everybody eats, I get turnout set up, which means I fill hay nets and get them all tied up safely so the horses are ready to eat as soon as they get in turnout, because if they are not conveniently fed at every single second of the day, and if I turn them out before their hay is ready, they are extremely upset, and we cannot have extremely upset horses. They just will not do. So I get them all turned out, and unfortunately Diesel did not get to go into turnout, which was extremely upsetting, and I heard about it through his screaming all day long. But at this point we thought it was an abscess, but he was still suffering from mysterious lameness, which I will have a YouTube video coming soon about, because that is just a whole different fiasco. But I gave him a little grass because he screamed about it, and I gave him whatever he wants, honestly. And then I moved back inside to clean stalls while they were outside, and I've honestly upgraded to putting the manure in the tractor and then putting it into the manure spreader, which how I didn't think about doing this all along, I don't know. It's taken me 6 years to get to this point. I just don't understand myself anymore. But then I have finally cleaned stalls, and I waited to do shavings until the end of the day for some reason. My brain makes no sense, but it's fine. And then I used the tractor to put that in the manure spreader. And this is where things got fun. I had to detach the manure spreader and hook the cart back up to the drag for the arena, because we finally had fresh footing coming in this day. And here come the trucks, the wonderful sand trucks. They brought 4 truckloads, so 2 trucks at a time, and then they went back and got more sand and brought it back. But that was eventful with the horses seeing the sand being dumped. That was just not a fun time. Anyways, so the trucks came in and they dumped everything, and we sat and talked to the guys for way too long, and that took up like a good chunk of my day. But they had to be done by a certain time, so we had to step on it with getting the arena ready for a ride that was happening later that day. At this point, my wonderful friend Callie, bless her soul, I will put her handle in the description. Check her out. She is such a blessing. She has 2 horses boarded with us. I've known her for years, and she is always down to help me out whenever I need it. And honestly, I need a lot of help, whether it be mentally or at the barn. I just need a lot of it. But I took the tractor, and eventually, once I figured out how to drive it, bear with me, I learned how to drive it like last week. Thank you, Robbie. And I took that into the arena without taking any posts down, bless. And Callie was in there with the arena drag, following behind me with the tractor, because I was flattening with the tractor as she was dragging it smooth, because the guys with the trucks did not really do us any favors with smoothing it out and spreading it out. So that took us a good solid like 2 hours just to get it generally flat. And then we took a break, and I got on Coco and she got on Tara, her mare, and I rode Coco in because she's a saint and I love her so much. She is a blessing. And we got them in, and her leaser was coming out later in the afternoon, so I wanted to clean her up for a special ride that she was having that afternoon. I didn't get time to ride her, which like I had hoped. I wanted to put a training ride on her, but I needed to get the arena flat for the leasers ride, which was more important. So we took a little bit of time to just clean her up. And I had never clipped her before, so I didn't really know how this was going to go. But of course, she was an angel muffin, as she always has been for literally everything. I love this pony. Seriously, my favorite pony mare on this earth. So I cleaned her up and then took her outside with cross ties. And of course, she decided to be extra dirty today, so I gave her a little quick bath while Callie pulled her mane because she is the pulling queen. I seriously don't know how she does it. She does a great job. And so I cleaned her up and got her as dried as I could, and then it took way too long, and the leasers showed up and she was still wet, and that was just a disaster. Everything's a disaster, it's fine. But we got her like relatively dry. It was fine. And then her little lease kid showed up, and they're freaking adorable, and that pony loves that kid so much. And they struggled through the sand a little bit, so watched them ride for a little bit, and then I had to get a nice warm soaking bath ready for Diesel, because again, at this point we still thought it was an abscess. Hint for the future, it was not an abscess, but that's to come. So I got him a little soaking bath ready, threw some iodine in there just for funsies, because why not, and put him some Epsom salts in there, made sure it was nice and warm. He is an angel muffin to soak, love him for that. So I put his little tub underneath him. That red stuff is not blood, it's iodine, I promise. I don't slice my horses up on the daily. So I threw his warm water with Epsom salts and iodine into his little foot bath. He was perfect. Seriously, needed him to be perfect today. He's great. I'm a big Back on Track fan, so I threw his hawk boots on while he was sitting there for like 20-30 minutes to soak, because why not, and gave him a little groom because I'm convinced that he likes to hurt himself just so he can have multiple spa days in a row, but it's whatever. I cater to his every single need that he could ever want. And here's some satisfying brush flicks for your enjoyment. Brush by Horse Guard. And then I got back on the tractor and had even more fun for like 2 hours. I had to till this one pasture that we don't really use anymore because my brother is getting married here in a month, and they decided that they want to have the reception in one of my pastures. Why? I don't really know. Maybe I'll ask him someday, but whatever. I just do what I'm told, and I tilled the pasture so we could reseed it and have no hoof holes for our wonderful guests to fall in, because as funny as that might be, we don't want anyone dying. So I flattened all the hoof holes, and then the goal was, after this was done, to put some grass seed on, and we spread some manure on top of it. And I really don't think it's gonna grow back in a month, but I mean, it's whatever. Again, I did what I'm told. By the time I got done with that, it was time for evening barn chores, so I scrubbed a couple water buckets and filled them up, and finally spread the shavings. Why I didn't do that earlier, I don't know. Pellet shavings are the best thing in the world. They're like sawdust. Highly recommend them. They saved my life, make cleaning so much easier. So I got some of those spread out. And at this point, I had to call and cancel my chiropractor appointment, which I'm super bummed about because I love going to the chiropractor and it's helped a lot. But my day was just too crazy, and then I fed the horses, gave them cookies because I love them, and I could have rode if I really wanted to, but my body and my mind were just exhausted. So Nemo and I got back in the truck, and we headed out for the evening, and we went to see my boyfriend at work, where we were working on our little project Jeep. I don't know if I'll ever post about that. Probably will. It'll probably be in my next daily routine because we'll be working on it for a while. But that was the end of my day, and it was kind of nice to just sit and relax at the end of my day.